Well, you would have heard in the introduction I did earlier around the event of the year. It's known as E Tipu, the Bowman New Zealand Agri Summit, coming to Christchurch Town Hall in the middle of May. And we have the privilege of giving you a little bit of a sneak peek in some of the inspiring speakers that will be on the stage there. And over the course of the next couple of months, every fortnight or so, we will cover one of those in the Changemakers series. You would have remembered the very inspiring young wool inventor based at New Zealand Merino, Logan Williams, and what he's doing with wool and cornstarch. So I assure you the quality of these will be outstanding. And our next speaker from the E Tipu Summit that we have here on the Changemaker, we're turning now to plant-based meats and also what eating more plants can do for our bodies and the environment. And we're welcoming now not only Meadow Mushrooms chair, but co-founder of Food Nation and former CEO of Global Woman, Miranda Burdon. Welcome to Serious Country, Miranda. You're absolutely on a mission to get more plants on plates. Where did it originate from, your passion and desire to play this role in our food system?
Like many of these problems, you solve a problem that you're aware of. It's a personal one. So it really stemmed from a recognition that diets are changing. Globally, diets are changing, and that's been driven by an understanding of the impact our current food systems are having and a desire to play a role in how we contribute to that change. So we see the New Zealand landscape over the past few years has shifted, particularly if you're in Canterbury. You've seen a shift from from sheep, 60 million sheep, to what is now predominantly dairy landscape. And I suppose the question we have is, where's that going to go to? So from our view, we needed to find a way to support this shift domestically, and we wanted to put more plants on our own plates. So we wanted to find a way to eat more plants and to feed our families with more meals that included plants in the centre of the plate. And that was basically the germ of the idea and the challenge that we gave ourselves.
So let's start with Meadow Mushrooms, which is based here in Canterbury, in Wigram, where you're producing mushrooms in a vertical farming system. Can you explain that?
Sure, no problem. So vertical farms are very trendy at the moment. Everyone's talking about them. They're essentially a farm that is internal, not external, and you layer them up. So our farm is 6 levels high. We can grow 35 hectares of crop on a 15-hectare site. So it's very efficient. It uses minimal water and energy relative to if we were outside in a much broader land space. And it's just a very efficient way of growing. But my involvement, and it's a family business, I've grown up with the business, I suppose my involvement made me very aware of both the environment we exist in, but also the wastage that exists and the opportunity to create more products more efficiently. And one of the things that we did is we've taken the products that are what we would call the second grade, or the ones that aren't as beautiful, and we've used them as part of the base of our new Food Nation products. And we've gone out to market to see how we can create that more circular use with byproducts and a whole range of different products, and that's across both Meadow Mushrooms and now with Food Nation. Plants are the most amazing whole food nutrition, and one of the things that we've seen is, and you will have seen it all through Canterbury, is a shift in global diets and how that's affecting our landscape. So we are amazing farmers, and now we're turning our hand at producing new crops that are highly nutritious. And examples are products that we've included in our Food Nation range. So kiwi quinoa is one of our partners. Quinoa is a complete protein. It's got all 9 amino acids. Hemp is another great product that New Zealand's just really starting to ramp up on, and it's an amazing source of nutrition. Obviously mushrooms, we don't get enough selenium in our diets, and so selenium is mushrooms are the only thing that will give you selenium in the produce department, and they'll give you a third of your selenium just from one little handful. So we're looking at how plants can fill a nutritional void, or not a void, a nutritional requirement in the diet. And we have so many options. We're incredible farmers.
When it comes to creating a new product item from a mixture of vegetables, and that it is effectively looking like a piece of meat or a burger patty, etc. What sort of friction has that created? I would like to know from your perspective. Or are you operating in a world of such high demand from people wanting plant-based meat alternatives that you don't experience that here in Canterbury yourself?
Oh, it's been so hard.
Okay.
So we thought it was a pretty obvious solution. We take beautiful fish ingredients that have high nutritional offerings and we put them together in a convenient, delicious offering. So it has to be delicious. We're not trying to pretend to be meat. So we are making products in formats that are the same as formats, so balls and a mince type structure and patty. So you can put them into the diet that you already have. You don't need to learn a new way to eat. But to get to deliver on that, we want to deliver not just taste, but also the textural benefit, diversity and range that plants offer. And so taste, nutrition, and convenience. Those are the three things that we had to deliver on. And it's been really hard. And I think it's a challenge for New Zealand. Global diets are changing. How we farm is changing as we understand more and more about the implications. And we've got to look at how we're actually setting up, or how the New Zealand food industry is setting up to support this change. And how we're not growing ingredients, but we're building the end product and how we're investing in it. Because that knowledge set and skill capability is something that we have found we're reasonably at the front of. We've had to work very hard with a lot of our suppliers and partners to get to a point where we had products we were really proud of. Other people are trying to make fake meat. So they're trying to make products that are largely made out of pea protein or soy or gluten and just emulate meat. We're trying to showcase the beautiful vegetables that we produce in this country and the amazing crops. We're not trying to be something else. We're trying to make it easy for you to eat plants. And that's been in products that you love, craveably good. And that's been quite challenging. So I think there's a real job for the food industry to support that shift and support a shift to value items, not just volume items.
I want to turn to your 20 years of executive experience around fast-moving consumer goods. And on Serious Country, I like to push the barrow and ensure that we're actually being market-led in our conversations. Mm-hmm. And, this is very much market-led. You're filling a demand void for more plants within our diets that consumers are demanding. But what frustrates you the most as a primary sector when, as you explained, it's about bringing a skill set to the table as opposed to a desire to produce a particular product?
What frustrates me the most? I don't think there's nothing that frustrates me. It's more about realizing the opportunities. I think as a country, it's really exciting what we can do. So we have this great opportunity to, to translate the skills and the competence we have in the ag and hort and growing space, and recognize the opportunities in this new way of eating. And the food industry has got to support the shift in our landscape and the shift in the way that we produce. But they've got to support it in a way that demands a really long-term good value proposition and the skills and the investment in industry that will get us there. One of the realities of COVID has been that we haven't had access to technology and machinery from offshore. That just physically hasn't been, we haven't been able to get it because places have shut down. So there's certain things that we hoped that we could access that still 2 years later, I can't even do a trial on. And I saw it operating literally 2.5 years ago in Europe, and I am still wanting to do it, but we can't do it yet. So we need to turn our distance into our strength, and we can. We know these things are happening out there, and we want to just, I suppose, invest as an industry in making sure that we support growing great crops. We support the shift in the way people are eating and actually deliver to that. Don't hope it's going to go away. This is a trend that's going to stay.
And your messages when you are gracing out the stage at Etipu in May, Miranda, what are some of those key messages you want to get out there? Of course, you've just shared with us so many, but the opportunity to be a part of an event like the BOMA New Zealand Agri Summit.
Yeah, I think probably the overwhelming one is that the change in global diets is here to stay. It's going to drive a change in the New Zealand landscape. And what's it going to look like? And what's the role that New Zealand food is going to play in that? So our food industry's got a big job to do. It's really exciting. I have no doubt we can do it. But we're going to have to work hard and work together and have a clear strategy to deliver on that. And we need to think, if we look at how different industries have evolved, we want to be targeting long-term value propositions, not necessarily commodities. So how do we create high value propositions that we can be the best in the world at? Because we're the best in the world at so many other things. In the primary space, I think there's lots of opportunity for us.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time, Miranda Burdon from Meadow Mushrooms, and as well as Food Nation, the co-founder of Food Nation. Go and check out the website, actually. It's really interesting, the work that they're doing. And as Miranda said, they have no intention on imitating meat, however, providing solutions into a consumer-led demand. Very interesting. And of course, Miranda will be a speaker at the up-and-coming Etipu Summit.
Oh, nice boots.
Yeah, thanks. They're new.
Ben, you alright?
Oh, yeah, sorry, mate. Just meerkatting pretty hard, eh? Yeah, I just said to myself, Ben, work hard. You deserve new boots.